Today with me is Zac Sherman. Here are the headlines. Aggrieved workers at Cardinal University stage protests over salary delay. National Elections Commission announces by-elections to be held in 2 counties on December 8th. Maryland County Senator Blair Brown frowns on health workers' retirement, calls for immediate halt due to the fight against COVID-19. We got more for you right after this break. Welcome back and thanks for joining us. Aggrieved workers of the Cardinal University in Bone County on Wednesday staged a protest at the campus of the university demanding the monthly salary owed them by the institution. KMTV's Angela Noah has the rest of the story.
On Wednesday, set a roadblock at the main entrance of the university in demand of an alleged 5-month salaries owed them by the institution. According to many of the protesters, they currently lack funds to maintain their families, which they said is contributing to their surgery.
I did my money because I had family to feed, and I work at I mean the family looking up to. So they owe me 8 months. So I stand here, if I can receive my 8 months, it's like there will be no work and will not allow anybody to come in, which is no faculties or no people.
I'm flagging up for Endor because I don't have my pay, because I have my children survive or no pay, no money. So I'm flagging them for now to not enter, for them to not enter. So
it affected me a lot. It made my children sit at home. It made me to put my children out of school because lack of paying their school fee. It caused me a lot of problems. So my brother with all money, you can't make it. So you just imagine 8 months working without pay. So it's caused me a lot of problems. So for that reason, I'm having the placard in my hand. That all of that I can pay my 5 months, and the 3 months will be requesting for it. But I need my 5 months salary.
I'm not going to school, no food. I got to manure other way, and I'm not that kind of a person to manure any other way to find food for my children. So now it have brought problem life. For me, I'm not even asking that the Brown, who is the president of Cardinal University, to even be 1 month behind. I need my 8 months. I'm a professional person, work with the institution what I know of. I need my 8 months exact. If the president can tell me, president of Cardinal University can tell me now that there is no money in Cardinal to pay me a part of that. And if he telling me that he's going to lop it from where I don't know that my money will come from, but all I need my 8 months before school can commence on October 1st.
The spokesperson for securities at the institution also clarified that only securities are exercising patience to protect the school's property, though they regret the unfair treatment shown them.
advised that with the exceptions of the security, we need to be on post, helping to protect the Cardinal property, because security normally don't just strike, but equally so they are all hurt. But I tried to talk to them that everybody be on that ship and man Cardinal property, because Cardinal remains our alma mater. Right after our 5 months a year, I don't want to go back to work. When you talk about strike, I told you with the exception of the security, that they have to protect Cardinal property. Cardinal property remains our alma mater. While also the strike action is going, it's also in their interest so that the 5 months a year can come.
The spokesperson believes that Cardinal, as a reputable institution, should be able to pay their workers without depending on students' tuition.
Cardinal has survived 131 years. Are they still a backer? Are they telling them they still backing? Are they depending on tuition payment before they can pay their worker after 131 years? You check it up since Cardinal been here. So we are saying no. You shouldn't be depending on tuition payment before you pay your worker.
This university spoken about is located in Bon County, and it is the oldest private four-year degree granting institution in sub-Saharan Africa, as it was founded since 1889, but still struggles to pay its workers. Angelique Noah, KMTV News, Monrovia.
And Johnny Noah with that report, and thanks to our Bon County correspondents for finding us that story. The Liberian Senate is expected to adopt a new policy that will be imposed on heads of the executive branch of government to not file in unnecessary excuses when cited or invited by the plenary. This comes as a result of excuses made by ministers of Internal Affairs and Education to answer questions relative to their area of control, which spiked out serious concern among the senators.
When the plenary in session sacks or summons a minister, and the minister cannot come, it must be for reason that we will understand. The plenary of the Liberian Senate cited the Minister of Education 1 week ago. This plenary will take serious affront to the flimsy excuse that will take serious exception to the excuse granted, and that its adherence should come with no excuse.
If we must be considered as the first branch, if we will be considered as the branch of government that work with the president to confirm these ministers, when we cite them, I think our citation should take precedent.
I think if we send a letter to these two ministers, it will not get to the other ministers. I would suggest that through the executive should be informed that this is the policy that we have adopted, and let a letter be read in cabinet meeting. Or else, let everybody be informed what the Senate expects of the different ministers and head of agencies who must appear here.
3 counties, including Bon, Margibi, and Montserrado, are expected to benefit from a 2-week water and sanitation protocol exercise in various high schools. According to WASH Commission CEO Bobby Whitfield, the project, which worth US $18,000, seeks to allow schools to be in compliance with water and sanitation protocols amid the fight against COVID-19.
$18,000 that the WASH Commission was able to secure from the CRS will go towards conducting what we call rapid school assessment to ensure that our schools are in compliance with the WASH protocol. You know, there's a safe school protocol that have been launched by the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health. We will be visiting 3 counties. This $18,000 will enable the WASH pillow to visit 3 counties, that is Montserrado County, Margibi County, and Bon County. These counties will experience the first rapid school assessment. We will be making sure that all schools within these 3 counties are in compliance with our WASH, guidelines. That is, they have got safe hand washing facilities at the entry of the school. This goes across all schools in these 3 counties. We want to do it for the 15 counties, and we are asking our partners to help us scale up this assessment. This is very important, not only in the fight against COVID, but in the fight against preventing the spread of any potential outbreak, or making sure that our schools are in compliance with WASH protocol. So the 3 counties, we're going to ensure that our inspectors go out there, private schools, government schools, and you name the rest, all across Montserrado, like I said, Margibi, and Bon County. There will be pretty close to 3,000 schools across these 3 counties that our inspectors are going to be visiting.
The Center for Transparency and Accountability, CENTAL, has welcomed the U.S. State Department's decision to ban former passport director Andrew Wampu for traveling to the United States. The transparency groups also called on the government to stop what it calls selective prosecution of corrupt government officials.
For transparency and accountability in Liberia welcomes the decision of the United States government through its Secretary of State, Mr. Mark Pompeo, to announce public designation of Mr. Andrew Womplu, dismissed former Director of Passport at the Liberia Ministry of Foreign Affairs, due to his involvement with significant corruption. Between 2018 and 2019, it is alleged that Mr. Womplu was involved in passport fraud that undermined the rule of law, reduced the Liberian public's confidence in government's management and of identification and travel documents, and compromised the integrity of immigration practices. CENTAR sees this as a bold step in the right direction, especially so that the government of Liberia failed to pursue the case against Mr. Womplu after charging him for multiple crimes, including economic sabotage, misapplication of entrusted property, and tampering with public records. We urge the United States government and other bilateral and multilateral partners to take more of such actions to ensure that individuals who wantonly abuse or abused public trust and resources are held accountable, even if the government of Liberia fails its people by ensuring that those concerned fully and duly account for their actions and inactions. Also, we call on the government, especially state prosecutors, to refrain from what appears to be selective prosecution of corruption and other related cases, mainly involving perceived government critics and those detached from high-ranking public officials.
Anderson Miamin is the Executive Director of CENTAR. Maryland County Senator Blebo Brown is seeking the indulgence of plenary to mandate the halting of the current retirement of health workers. The senator, in his letter addressed to the plenary dated September 13, 2020, said the Civil Service Commission is currently implementing a plan that seeks to retire medical doctors and nurses against the advice of the Ministry of Health. According to Senator Brown, while he does not question the mandate of the Civil Servants Agency, the implementation of the retirement policy at this moment is untimely.
There's a retirement plan now of medical doctors, of health workers in the country, and we feel that it is not right. Two conditions that are put in place that I think that we should do. One, if the World Health Organization and the Liberian government can declare that COVID-19 is over, then of course. And two, both the Civil Service Commission and the Ministry of Health should come up with a replacement plan. You cannot put medical doctors or health workers down without a plan to replace them. These people are not ordinary civil servants or administrators that you can just put down. What? In a hospital, you can just put people down and then you don't have a plan in place to replace them. And so it's on that basis that we release communication to the plenary. And we have the William Stoneman University, but there are thousands of youth, young people in the county who, perhaps due to the war or due to the economic situation, cannot go to the university. So we proffer this bill that talks about the creation of a vocational institute in Maryland County. And the seat of this institute will be in Plipo. And so we propose this bill. It was received and sent to the Committee on Education. The whole essence is to give power.
Well, if you're just joining our news broadcast, this is a reminder that you are watching news today only on KMTV with me, Zac Sherman. The story is still to come. The National Elections Commission announces by-elections to be held in only 2 counties on December 8. We'll take more for you right after this short break. back for news today. The National Elections Commission has announced by-elections for Montserrado and Sino counties to be held on December 8. The by-elections, according to NEC Chairperson David Hector Brown Lasana, will coincide with the special senatorial elections. Speaking at a conference, Madam Lasana also spoke about health measures put in place as Liberians go to elections.
On the by-elections, members of the press, the NEC on Thursday, September 10, received a communication from the Honorable House of Representatives notifying the Commission of the existence of 2 vacancies occasioned by the death of the late J. Nambe Slaw of District Number 2, Sino County, and Honorable Mona Pelham Youngblood of District Number 9, Montserrado County. Pursuant to Article 37 of the Constitution of Liberia, which requires the NEC to conduct the by-election within 90 days of notification, these representative by-elections will be held on December 8, 2020, along with the special senatorial elections and referendum. The Commission will shortly release information to the candidate nomination period for these by-elections. Measures against the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, the NEC is continuing to collaborate with health authorities to ensure the protection of its staff and others against the coronavirus disease during the voter roll update exercise. Accordingly, citizens are advised to observe all COVID-19 prevention protocols, including the washing of hands, wearing of masks, and social distancing in queues as they go to the voter roll update centers.
The Liberia Media Development Program, managed by Internews Liberia today, September 15, provided some basic broadcast equipment to ECOWAS Radio, formerly Army Radio. During a rapid assessment in August 2020, it was established that the station had a number of technical equipment gaps since its transition from the United Nations support and now managed by ECOWAS Commission. Equipment provided the sub-regional radio include 3 high-tech desktop computers for broadcast, 4 digital voice recorders, and 4 studio-based microphones. Civil rights advocacy group, Democracy and Empowerment for Economic Progress, has alarmed over continued presence of police officers of the National Police at its headquarters. Deep through its executive director, Abraham Sulu, said it was embarrassing and threatening for police to invade its offices without any prior notice. He indicated that no matter of threats will stop or scare the group from advocating for the rights of Liberians.
We just got up in the morning, we saw a huge presence of police personnel, well armed, that is PSU. They came to our other building and then made a lot of comments. From there, they were there for a while and drove to our main office at right opposite the Benson Hospital and deployed there. So we couldn't have access to the building. Most of our members were trying to troop in, was everything. I spoke to them, I told them to remain kind and let us study the process. I deduce maybe they have some reason for which they did it, or could be associated with maybe instruction again from higher up. So we kept resolute in our position and allowed the day to pass. But what now creating the alarm was this morning, before I could even leave my house to come, we just got a communication that you gotta be a little bit careful. There's a huge police presence all around it.
The Interreligious Council of Liberia has condemned recent choking of voters at the voter road update process continues across the country. The council has also condemned the recent electoral violence in Bomi County and called on the Ministry of Justice and the Liberia National Police to launch an investigation to bring the perpetrators to justice. Kodu K. Brown is the head of the council.
The choking of voters or persons interested in participating in the ongoing voter roll update. The VRU, the council executive realized that our electoral process is being challenged by the trucking of voters from one constituent to another. Unfortunately, the trucking of persons is being reported in several counties, to include Bombing, Grand Cape, and other counties belonging to Liberia's neighbors in the north and eastern region of the country. This is a democracy and the stability of our nation. Therefore, the council condemns this act in very strong terms and asks all stakeholders and citizens to desist from this the necessary component of the election laws to curb this unwholesome practice and prevent the holding of elections that do not represent the true aspiration of the people within a given electoral constituency or district. The council strongly condemns all acts of electoral violence or political violence, including the unfortunate developments reported in District 15, the St. Paul Bridge, bombing, Grand Cape counties over the weekend. The council calls on the Ministry of Justice and the Liberia National Police to investigate these reported acts of violence and intolerance and bring the perpetrators to justice if we must continue to maintain peace and stability.
With that, folks, that's how we draw down the curtains of news today on KMTV. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. Aggrieved workers at Cotton University stage protests over salary delay. The National Elections Commission announces by-elections to be held in 2 counties on December 8. Maryland County Senator Lebo Brown frowns on health workers' retirement, calls for immediate halt due to COVID-19. On our note, folks, that's how we want to say thanks for your viewing pleasure. Do join us on our next subsequent news broadcast. On the day, my name is Zac Sherman.